What up, y'all? It's Syx Lit, aka Big Lit Six in this bitch. And you know I'm finna get lit. I'm back with episode 6 with my special fucking guest. And maybe later today, Pappy will join us. Who knows? I don't know. But if not, love you, Pappy. Who are you, sir? And where are you from?
My name's Puigy-P. That's my rap name and also my nickname. My real name's Matthew, but I come from Illinois, and I'm about that real hip hop, that lyrical shit.
Who is some artists that are either from your city or outside your city that you look up to?
Well, of course, I like all hip hop. I like really all music. I like all genres. I don't really focus on like my favorite rappers where I'm from, cause I don't really get down with drill music. That's what originates from where I'm at. But of course, if I were to go back to my favorites, there'd be old school, so more like Twista and Crucial Conflict, those type of people from Illinois. But my favorite rappers, of course, Tupac. He's the one who got me intrigued. 50 Cent was my first, like real favorite rapper growing up. That was my first CD I bought was Bulletproof. So, once I got to learn the lyrics and study them, and I got to see what type of person he was, I really like his persona and what he was giving out. So, but of course, right now and all time, my favorite rapper is Lil Wayne.
Okay. So, what was it like for you growing up? Like, did you struggle with mental issues? Did you ever have anxiety during your trauma? Anything like that you would like to share with my listeners?
Growing up, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in public housing, the projects. That's where I started out at, and that's what intrigued me to hip hop music. Just because it was a lifestyle, and so once I became, to be good with my surroundings and my environment, that's kind of what brought me up as, like a gutter street man, like that is a hustler, is that street smart. And then I also mix it in with my book smart when I was still going to school. My mom, she was a single mom, so we struggled for a little bit growing up. But she always made sure that, we had good food on the table, like real good food. She always made sure I had, brand name Tommy Hilfiger polo. She always made sure I had Jordans. So she did what she had to do, she worked her ass off and made sure that that our house, or our apartment or wherever we were at was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so yeah, growing up, it was kind of, rough, and it made me, look at these music videos, and it made me watch, BET, The Basement, 106 in Park. Every day after school, I would just, drift off into my dream, and that was my dream, is to be successful and, to have my words mean something to everybody around the world. So I do also want to have good influence with my words. I don't want to just talk about guns, money, sex, and,
Yeah,
cars and
same
diamonds.
bullshit.
And
Yeah.
but of course, you got to you got to give what people like to draw them in first, and then once you draw them in, then you can send whatever message you got to send. But yeah, you know how that is.
Of course. So, so basically, my question for you is kind of like, would you say if you weren't from Illinois, if you were able to choose where you were born at, let's say, where would you want to be from? Or do you fuck with where you were born at?
Definitely fuck where I'm born at, because I wouldn't be me if I wouldn't be the Illy boy if I wasn't from Illinois. So, definitely, it definitely is a part of my structure and who I am today and how I carry myself. So, yeah, of course, I love where I'm from, and I represent where I'm from. But to be honest, if I were to, yeah, I think I would pick like, somewhere nice, somewhere like a little uppity, maybe the West Coast somewhere, or maybe even just down south. That way I wasn't involved in, all the other bad stuff that my life endured. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm glad where I grew up at, and I'm glad, like everything happens for a reason, and I am
Yeah.
religious, so I'm a
So,
Christian, and I do
as you
believe in
should.
God. I do believe
Yeah.
in a higher power. So I do believe like everything happens for a reason, and we're taken to certain places, and we do certain things throughout the day that we don't even really know that is affecting us. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
6 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road.
Yeah, honestly, guys, to add to that, like, answer he said, towards the end, I just feel like me doing this podcast with my partner and like with other guests as well, it's just been so therapeutic for me. I love hearing other people's responses to my questions, or when they have questions for me, or it's just a vibe, like I feel like instead of feeling like how it used to be back in the day, like, oh, just write in a diary. Like, nah, bro, like when you die, someone's gonna read that or some shit, you know? Like, I mean, counselors, if it works for you, it works for you. But for me personally, I wouldn't go to no therapist unless I really, really need it. But, you know, being able to talk to other artists and other guests about their career choice and why they chose that is just so fun and, like I said, therapeutic. So like if you guys ever do a podcast, I definitely recommend it. Like, do that shit. Put all your feelings sometimes out on the table, hide some, that's on you. But personally, talking about some shit, relating to some shit really does help you in your mental. All right, Pugy.
Very
So
true.
so how did we meet? Do you remember or no?
I do. So, actually, that's what I wanted to say too. Is big shout out to Syx Lit. That's a real good homie of mine, and he's a good, genuine person as well as an artist. And he does care about other people besides himself. He cares about the fans. He cares about his team, his people. So I definitely shout out to that, and you a real good homie for real. And yeah, going back to the that certain timing and things happen for a reason. I do believe that we met for a certain specific reason. But going back to the question,
Yeah.
uh yeah. So one day I was just going scrolling through TikTok, seeing like different new views and new likes and stuff that I had, and then on the lives that go on, I was just scrolling, just bored one day, and then I seen, Syx. I seen you, and I was like, damn. I was like, I like his swag and shit. I could tell you got that CEO chain on. I could see that little studio in there. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I seen you bilingual as well, that also made me want to tune in, see what type of music you got to offer, and because you were talking about releasing some new projects, so it made me kind of intrigued to
Mm-hmm.
find out what type of music you got. So I just tuned in, and I started hitting you up, telling you, hey, if you're trying to, let's work, let's collab, let's do something. Cause I'm like you, I like to give other artists the same shot as I got. So
Guys, mid to
or
that,
any other
let me tell you
artist.
something. Hold on. Let me tell you something, dude. Mid to that, bro. This nigga hit me up talking about some let's work, right? So I'm all like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like I'm down. And I did not know that this whole fucking time this nigga's over here talking to me. This nigga's watching me from where were you?
I was in Davenport, Iowa, right across the bridge from Illinois, and I
He
was
was
in I was in
in a
a federal halfway house. I just
mm-hmm.
got out the feds. I had a gun charge, just like most rappers. But
Just like most
I'm one of those ones that if I got it and I pull it and I draw down on it, then I'm doing something with it. So I don't really be just waving my shit around. I'm not out here chasing clout with my stuff. So I didn't deserve the gun charge, but yeah, it just happened. I believe someone told on me.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
yeah,
Well, I mean, fuck that nigga, whoever is a snitch. But yeah. So like, he reached out to me, and I was like, oh shit, this is cool. Let me like peep the scenery out. He looked like a familiar face to me. But other than that, like when he talked to me, I was like, is this nigga in jail? And I'm like, this nigga got a whole hat, like he's dressed like, like all nice and shit, swaggy. So I'm like, okay, like what the fuck? He ain't in the pinta. So where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm in the halfway house right now, and da 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 da. Obviously, he spoke about it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So how are you gonna record with
yeah.
me
But
at a
since that
halfway
moment,
house?
I knew you was a real good homie though. As soon as we started linking up and you started talking about your music and everything like that. So once I really seen you as a genuine person and that you was real, you wasn't just pump faking, just wearing some costume jewelry and shit. Like once I knew you were genuine and you had some real ice on, and you was backing up your shit that you was talking. So once I seen that, I was like, yup, I'm
Yeah.
gonna collab with this man, or I'm gonna make some music with this man.
I mean, we still haven't, guys. Sorry, sadly. Just kidding. In the future, who knows? But nah, honestly, thank you, for the compliments and stuff. I know, guys, if it may sound like, why is he not saying thank you? I trust me, he knows I'm grateful. But this is like his time to shine. So that's why I'm trying to like be quiet, because I feel like sometimes you guys can hear that outside noise, and I don't like that. So yeah. So whatever. Thank you, Pugy. Thank you. Shout out to you. But yeah, no, that's the thing though. Like, a lot of these rappers, Obviously, you know, me and Pappy talked about it, how California rappers are so like fucking against one another from coming up, and this person knows that one, so they get an easy ass fucking handout. Like niggas gotta start like me from the bottom ground up, like me, Pappy, Puigy, you know, like Joel, AG, you know, like, and we're still coming up, and I still don't brag about like, oh, I have a big following, nothing. So it was just like stuff that he, I guess, I'm sure, was surprised that I didn't speak on. Was probably surprising to him, you know. He literally was talking about his
Very humble.
music. Thank you. He was talking about his music, and I just loved his story. I felt like it was so intriguing, and I just like loved the way he carried himself, because it's so important as a grown ass man to act like your age, admit that you're wrong, and not be a selfish prick, and just be a stubborn one as well. And you know, I've never met someone like that besides my mom, because she a real one. But besides that, it's like I don't even fuck with niggas like that, because it's just like they be moving funny, moving like all weird, like they get all drunk wanting to fight their friends. Like I could never, you know. And so him talking to me about his life, what he's been through, and his music, I just kept hearing music, 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 and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I carry little stuff that people tell me in my brain and remember it, kind of like cherishing it, like, okay, like this is so cool. I knew he wanted to work with me. I was down to work with him. I liked his background. I liked how he carried himself. And I said, do you have any music out? Because I can't find you. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I do. But the thing is, it's not on mainstream platforms. And I said, got him. I need to help him out. He's in a tough situation right now, and I feel like he's stuck because he has the voice for it, he has the rhymes for it, and I feel like he just needed help, you know. And I took it out of my kind heart to help this man out, because I just saw talent, and I got done with the other artists I helped because of the simple fact that they just didn't want me to be cool with one another, or, you know, like just plotting. And with this one, it was more so he's older than me. I like to fuck with niggas that are older than me, because I can get knowledge from them, look up to them still, or, you know, just peep game that I wouldn't do necessarily, you know, like shit like that. So when I gave him the opportunity to be like, hey, like I could put your music out for you on all platforms if you would like, what was your reaction to that? You know, like what did you feel, or what did you think? Because no one's ever doing that for free. Like you would have to pay me something, let's say, right?
So yeah, when I first you know, heard him respond with that, like that he would be willing to put my stuff out there on every platform. I only had like a couple things on the iHeartRadio with the features that I did. The rest was on, you know, YouTube. I got my own channel on there, and then I had some on SoundCloud, which is everybody can do that. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I've been limited my target range to fans because
Yeah, because
of, you know, my knowledge on it, and also
yeah, and it was more so too. Also, guys, the more reason why I helped this man out is because I really saw his dedication to the music. Because when I met him, that's why I needed to help this man, because I can just see the dedication, but he's lacking streams in the new generation, meaning like the new distribution companies, and you know, like to really push his shit out. The only nigga that ever helped him do that was only one nigga, and it was kind of like an okay song, you know. But I wanted him to build his own character and his own fan base by just like releasing all his released music, and some that, let's say, are not released, you know. So it was mostly because you were dedicated to the music, Puigy, because if you weren't, I probably would have still said it, but probably since I got burnt last time for doing that, I probably wouldn't have done it, honestly, you know. But it was the way you were talking to me, you were calm, you know, it was good energy. So I just felt like, oh shit, we'll see how this goes. And it worked out, you know, and it felt really good, like I told you, to really help you. It was very inspiring that I inspired myself, which I guess for some people may sound selfish, but I mean, I don't give a fuck. It's my opinion. And it's like shit like that does not come for free. Like no one's gonna sit there, and yes, they may fuck with you, but they still side-eyeing you like, yeah, nigga, I don't trust you. Or there's some niggas that fake fuck with you and just want your music and put it out so they make all the money. And it was mostly, I had to clarify that as well. I don't make music for fun, bro. Like, that's another thing I told him. I don't make music for fun. Like, I'm really passionate about this shit. I hate niggas that claim that they make music for fun. To me, that's disrespectful to me, because it's kind of like saying, okay, so you just think like, you know, but not to assume. It's more so, it's really not fun though. Like, what makes you think music's so fun? It's very therapeutic and it helps people's lives. You know, that's why you look up to who looking up to, because they took it serious. It's not like they're like, oh yeah, I just made it, you know, to be fun. You know, like I didn't even think it was gonna blow up. Like, I hate those type of niggas. Like, you know what you're doing, bro. It's good as fuck. Stick to the plan. Don't let these niggas know that you're just doing it for fun, because there's gonna be a next nigga coming to take your spot. Puigy as well, you know, like he has.
When it comes to music, I don't never take it as a game. You know, like I always take it serious, 100%. When I record, you know, from start to finish, if one little thing is off or it doesn't sound appealing to me, or like my fan base or anything, then I will delete the whole song and I'll start
Yeah, he's
from
very.
scratch. I don't care if my
You're
voice
very.
is
You're
scratchy or
you're very opinionated about your music, and that's what I like as well. Cause I'm like that too, and especially now since I like grew up. Basically, I'm 20 years old. You know, just turned it like last or 2 months ago, and you know my mind started to shift, and I noticed like every time I would record music, I'm more patient with myself. I complete the sentences. It doesn't sound super rushed. It sounds more cleaner. It sounds more smoother as well, you know. So
exactly. Like it has to be top notch. If it ain't top notch and I'm just on BandLab on a phone, you know, that's the type of shit that I don't take serious. Like at least get you a mic and a
well,
laptop or something, get you something,
but
you know.
shout out to my niggas that do record on BandLab. Not no hate towards you,
That
because
do
I
it,
know
yeah. That
some of you do take it serious, and some of you just do it to fuck around and scream on the mic. Like, that shit ain't making you nothing. I mean, and if it does, good for you. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, that's
Is
what I mean. Just like just the taking not taking it serious, you know, like just
Yeah,
getting on there and just doing it just because you know everybody else is doing it or because your homie's doing it. You know, like if you're actually doing it on BandLab and you really putting in the time and the effort to clean your music, to you know time it perfect, to do everything that you want to do, add the effects,
yeah,
and you know you put a music video with it or anything, any type of thing or any artwork, then to me you're taking it serious. But if you just
yeah.
doing it and just uploading just to do it and trying to get views and shit, then I don't know, you should really take it serious and try it. And you might be good at it, but if you're not good
And
at it, then you know you should leave music alone.
some people though, Pugy, honestly, are super talented that they record off their fucking headphones, bro. My friend's doing it right now, and he made a banger. Not gonna lie, it's his first ever song.
Well, yeah,
It's my partner,
that shit's fresh.
guys, aka Young Lil Pappy. He just recorded his first fucking single, bro, and that shit is so fire, because I hooked him up on the app. I told him what to do as a tip, you know, and I just love him, bro. Like, he just takes anything I say and runs with it in a good manner. Like, he really takes what I say serious, because he knows I know my shit, and I'm not a stupid ass artist, you know. Clearly not. Like, I wouldn't be nothing today if I was. But you know, and you too, like, I told you the same thing too. Record on BandLab. Like, I wouldn't have never known about no BandLab shit if it wasn't for some people that I seen blow up on TikTok that are like 10 years old recording on it, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And they sound good as fuck. Like, shout out to BandLab for real, because BandLab been really making these little niggas careers. Like, they went from nothing to something, because the way that they make the microphone sound so professional, smooth. Obviously, it's effects. Yes, I get it. But, you know, it's cool as fuck that you get to do it on your phone and on a computer as well with your mic, you know? So it goes both ways, Pugy. You know, it's very fun. But like you and me, we record from a
Nah, I'm
professional.
just talking more about
Like, some niggas do it for
I'm
fun
just
and
talking more about like just
stupid shit.
doing it just to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm not downing what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying, like, some real niggas that are real talented, even OG niggas sometimes do it too. They be on BandLab. And I'm like, what the fuck is the hype about BandLab? Till this day, y'all, I don't even know how to work
Yeah.
BandLab. I try to, and I'm like, I suck. Let me stop. Delete.
Can't do it either.
It's confusing. It's confusing because we've recorded on professional like programs like Pro Tools, so it's different. So all this new shit with BandLab and
Yeah, very different.
Rap Chart or whatever it's called, you know, like that's different. And so shout out to them, but still, this is no sponsor, but we just letting y'all know. Some of y'all do be sounding funky on them songs and sounding like y'all don't be saying nothing but out your ass. And then there's some that really do be spitting the hot shit for real, you know?
Shout out to the real ones.
Like us. Sheesh. All right, so Pugy, since you were at a halfway house with other people, was it ever weird for you to be transferred there and being away from your city? Did you ever feel affected by that? And how did you cope with that during all those times? Because I know you did some time. So,
Yeah, I did like 4 years and some change altogether on a gun. And
but
not
more than that,
everywhere I
guys,
went, like I
more
ain't
than
even gonna
that.
lie, like everywhere I went,
Yeah.
I always met someone that was from my area or that was like knew me or that knew my people or knew mutual people. Like there was always someone there or some people, like even groups that would even kind of know me or know about me at least. So it kind of felt good, but it was also humbling too because I got to see like real big bosses, like real people out there really doing what rappers be talking about, like
Mm-hmm.
what people be putting on that persona, real kingpins, real murderers, real gangbangers, like
And
so
guys, and
these
FYI,
people,
guys, FYI, Pugy does not bang. He is not in no gang or none of that. So I know he got a gun charge, but that does not mean he bangs. Just so you guys know, he's a regular like me.
yeah,
We street
yeah,
smart in our
I don't
head, but
bang,
we
I'm
we
neutral.
don't bang, but we know our shit. I just had to clarify that because I don't
For
want
sure.
people to think like, what is he a gang member? Like what the no, you're not.
Oh yeah, no, I don't bang it at all. I'm neutral. I grew up around that shit though. All my people are, and so that made me not want it because I was just around it so much and I seen what it brought. It's either death or jail or some
Hmm.
bullshit.
Or
So
locked
I
up.
don't
Yeah.
recommend it, to the youth, but you do what you do. But really, nah, like I always seen people where that knew me or knew about people that knew mutual people or knew mutual places. So like it was all right, but yeah, it was different being in different areas though, because like the majority who's there is from that area, so you know you're feeling kind of out of place a little bit, how your lingo is, how you talk, how you walk, everything. So my best thing that I did was carry myself as elegant, with some smarts and some
Knowledge.
strength and some muscle and exactly. And really, if you carry yourself as a man, people are gonna respect you as a man. If you
Yeah.
ain't out there digging in someone else's business or trying to fuck with somebody else or trying to hurt somebody, then ain't nobody really gonna do that to you. There might be that
Hmm.
slim chance that someone's gonna take it out their day to go hurt somebody, but for the most part, if you just stay in your lane, you're gonna be all right.
And nowadays, most niggas still don't do that. But anyways, so what is your relationship with other rappers besides myself? Like who else have you been in contact with that is, I guess, pretty known or undergrounders like us?
At uh at 14, I had opened up for Twista over there at the 21 Club in Illinois, and I got to talk to him. I've actually done some personal business with like Do or Die. I met a few of them personally, and I met the Bone Thug. I've actually kicked it with them, and they're some cool ass people. Uh, let's see here. Oh yeah, being locked up in the feds, you're around like all types of different people. So, I got to, run into Moneybag Yo's cousin. He got to tell me, a lot about his life story and about everything. And then also Finesse 2 times. He's being transferred out, so I got to see him on a transfer. And then yeah, really it was just that type of stuff. I just went into the prison right after Gucci Mane had left. So when I went in there, everybody had stories, and people that was around him every day. So same with Kodak. Like a lot of people, the feds is all connected. So if you're really in the feds and you're doing Fed time, you're gonna know who's in there at all times. You're gonna know what happened to that person while they was in there. You're gonna know everything, how they carry themselves. So yeah, I got to experience that, and actually right now, um, so I'm in the works of talking to a producer from his name's HB, and he's out of Chicago. He used to produce for a lot of big artists and a lot of shy rappers. So but also my homie his name's LV, but people call him Tune. He's the one who's put me on his music stuff, and he actually reached out to me last night. Had told me that this girl's gonna have this producer call me that used to produce for Kevin Gates. So I guess she's willing to do some work, and kind of bring me up as an artist. So well he is the producer, but she's she went out her way because she works with him like business stuff. So she went out of her way to find out my homie and find out me. He had relayed
Hmm.
my name, and So when she seen my talent and how much, what do I got to offer, then she spoke out to the producer that used to produce for Kevin Gates. So yeah, I'm working with some all right people. I'm just waiting on really responses for the go. As soon as they say it's a go, then I'm going. So
Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
Well,
I got mixes out there that have been played, and by people, and so I got a little, light shining my way, but I definitely got to get out there more with the marketing, and that's definitely important. Is market yourself, invest in yourself. If that's
hmm
your craft, and make sure that you do that.
you love it and cherish it forever. And also, too, music never dies. But just know, my music ain't gonna die. Puigy's music ain't gonna die. YouTube ain't gonna die. So next question. What song by me caught your attention, and did it intrigue you anyway? Do you feel like I came different?
I got a little sneak peek of some stuff that he dropped before he dropped it. And I don't really know name by name, to be honest, bro, because you played like a decent amount to me that night. But that whole project you did for sure is lit. I fuck
The
with it and
truth.
hear your raw tracks, and it was nice. I like your swag and your delivery and how you deliver. So I
Thank
like
you.
your swag and how I don't know, you be really determined, so in all your music. So I like that, and the determination is where it's at.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Thank you for that. So my question to you, Puji, is: do you still have unreleased music that you still want to put out, but you just haven't yet or told me about yet?
Yeah, actually I do. I got like a whole tape ready to go. I did it right before I got jammed up, so yeah, it's ready to go and everything. To me, I feel like I can mix it a little better or master it a little better. Like, I don't know, I just have little certain qualifications, that my shit's got to pass. So I feel like I need to look at it a little bit more, but I really do want to release it right now. It's all ready to go. I know it is. The sound, the quality is there. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
there. The lyrics. I
Mm-hmm.
think I go harder than my older music. If anybody goes and checks it out, but yeah, it's definitely going harder, and I feel like it's ready to go. So I do want to release it. I just got to figure out how I'm gonna release it. If I'm gonna do singles or if I'm just gonna put it all at one project. I'll probably put it at one project. There's about like maybe 12 of them, and I also want to. I got a lot of video plans. Like I want to start uh, doing better videos, um, like storytelling videos a little bit. I want it to be more realistic because I'm just putting myself out there in front of the camera. Looking fresh and doing what I do on a daily. So those are the type of sceneries and things that I put in my videos. I want it raw. I want it the way it is, like what I'm actually doing. I'm
Yeah.
not really worried about investing in renting cars and renting hella shit to put in a video. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like, shout out to y'all that do it, but right now as an upcoming artist, like, I think that's too early for me to be doing that type of stuff. I
Yeah.
just want it raw. I want it who I am, what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe one day, like if all this blows, I might look into like putting in more puzzles and more shit in the video that you gotta find and you gotta look out for. Like, I don't know, just
Mm-hmm.
certain messages maybe in
Yeah.
videos. Like, I would like it to get deep, but of course, that takes a lot of budget. That takes a lot of stuff that those people can do and connect it to.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm just doing what's raw. So
Okay. 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 You're finding a beat. You found the beat. You're writing to the beat. You recorded to the beat, and you're like, "Fuck, I can hear so and so on this. Who would you call?" And that honestly is gonna
oh yeah.
respond to you. That is gonna respond to you within a quick ass manner. Like, boom, I'm there, type shit.
I mean, if I could pick any artist, I would say like J. Cole or like a Kendrick or someone like that. Someone that has some deep lyrics and can get on that level.
Okay. And if they
Go
weren't
ahead.
famous,
Well, I mean, I don't really know too many underground rappers like that. I know like the ones that I performed with and all that, and the ones that I came up with. But like as far as underground artists, like I don't really. I mean, like I would like to work with you, and like kind of bind our music together. Let's see how it comes out. But like, it's because I know you. You know what I mean? Like I know, but I don't really be knowing people like that, like underground artists, because I'm not I'm not one of those like friendly ass people. I like to just keep to my own. You know, I'm a
Yeah.
family man, so I don't really be out there.
Speaking of families, so I heard from the grapevine that you recently got married. How was that for you? You know, what made you be like, "Damn, this is the girl," and like, I just want to build this relationship with her. I want to marry her and have a kid with her.
Well, so I had met her while I was, going through some shit and a little bit of locked up, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was kind of at my low, and when I seen that she was a genuine person and that she was real and she actually loved, because ain't gonna lie, most of these women these days they don't really love. They just, they want to be loved or I don't know, they want something, in return. But when I seen she wasn't really like that, and I seen, she's really down to love and take care of something and be real, like she's real, and I like the rawness of her, like I don't know, I just like when I can see someone for who they are and their raw is good and it's genuine and it's caring and like just good person you could tell. Then when I could put that on your raw instead of just who I think you are or your personality or what other people see, like when I could see the real shit every day, then that's what I base my relationships or my friends off, or you know definitely with her, because I didn't think I was gonna get married. I thought I was just gonna have fun with life and just just chill back and just do me. But once I realized that she's down to ride and she's down to deal with the obstacles that I have to hurdle over, then when I seen she's able to do that and I seen, how much she loved me and cared about me, then that's when I knew I had to do it. Otherwise, I would probably make a mistake and I would never, run into another woman like her, so
And
so I figured,
can we just say too, also, because you did tell me your past life and what you've been through with the other one, and correct me if I'm wrong, not like trying to be a pick me or nothing, but I could have sworn, like you were a little bit like you were with it, but you didn't know if you can be fully committed until I gave you some knowledge. Like, no, bro, like this is your time to be happy. Look at what you're going through. Like, you need someone besides, let's say, just me to entertain you. When you told me you were talking to that beautiful lady, let me say, because she is very beautiful, guys. She's very, very, very pretty, let me say. I was like, dude, like, it's perfect. You told me some things about her. I already liked her. I was like, fuck yeah, do it. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong or no? Like,
no, you're right.
cause you were like super
Yeah.
like at first very iffy about it, but like my friends tend to do that with me, like about love, and I kind of am like the nigga that's like, no, do it. Sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's like good, but it's rarely good. This one was like really good. You guys are married, and you are a great father as well.
So yeah, my wife, she's definitely more like emotional. She's more like a more feminine, like a real woman. Like my baby mama or my ex, she was more like just negative and like just dark and distant.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like it was like a forced thing just because the kids, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
felt. I was gonna wait, till the kids are a little older to just bend out. But I don't know. Once I seen that I had this opportunity, I was like, this is a whole different type of woman. Like she actually loves and cares, and
And she
she's a
doesn't
real good
lie.
cooker.
She doesn't fucking lie either. She tells you straight up, like, this is what I fucked up on, and then you school her on it, and then she changes. And that's what I like to hear. Like hearing the dad's perspective and hearing how, like, the mom is kind of like how a dad would be, like, on some, oh, just kids, like, fuck your dad type shit. Like, oh, don't be nice. You know what I mean? Like, just mind fucking them and manipulating them without them really seeing it themselves. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
yeah, she's
and
definitely on that. Like,
y'all don't want to see her. Y'all gonna be like, oh hell no, you know. But like just hearing what you've told me about her is just is so cool. Like you guys have that open relationship to be like, look, I fucked up on this. It's either you can help me through it, or just I'll just leave it on the table and see what you want to do type shit. It's not giving that. It's giving, nah, I'm going to help you. It's mutual helping, and it's mutual I love yous and I got your back to the fullest. I don't care if you fucked up. We're all human. Like I like that. That's taking accountability for his or her action. That's like how relationships should be, but nowadays it's really not, you know? Especially this new generation, it's so abusive, it's fucking disgusting. But anyways, guys, we talked about that last episode. So, like, what else do you look forward with, you know, your wife? What else do you guys want to do in your life to change even more and blossom?
Well, I do believe like being close and giving time and just showing a little effort. Like I don't know, I do believe that that goes a long ways with someone, especially like your woman, your wife. And so I do believe that traveling, that'd be cool, to go see, take her new places, like that she ain't never been or never thought she would go and stuff like that. Like, but one thing I love about her the most is she already told me, like I told her that I do music. She really didn't know that part of me. Like while we were first talking, she just only knew, Matthew, and then once I got to tell her more about my music, like I don't think she really, I don't really think she knew that I was this far with it and like how in the loop I am with like real like major artists and also as well as underground. And so I think when she started seeing that, like she realized that this is what I want to do. This is my dream, she's willing to back me up and ride it out with me to see where this dream goes. So I do love that about her. And most definitely, like she told me, she don't really care about the flashy life, like the diamonds and the fast cars and the mansions and shit. Like she ain't really looking forward to that. Like she ain't. That's not what she likes. That's not what she wants. But she's willing to do whatever I want. So like if I were to give that to her, of course she'll accept it and be happy with it and love it. But if I'm not able to succeed that limit and I'm not able to go there, get that far, then she's also content and happy with, being just living like a normal, average, everyday life. So that's one thing, I love about her is that she's willing to go there with me, but she's also willing to be where I end up at. Like she ain't tripping on all that stuff. So really, I believe that more women should be like that because that's how it used to be. The woman used to ride with the man to the wheels fall off, to the end, to the last breath. And these women these
Yeah.
days, like also men too. I can't stun on the men neither. They're on some bullshit. Ain't trying to
Mm-hmm.
take care of shit. Ain't trying to put in the work and the effort and the time. So I mean, this generation is taught to fuck and make babies and live life and just have fun, not worrying about the consequences, like or actually loving someone or like no one's really worried about the real shit like that comes from all this and actually loving. And it's just on to the next type thing. So that
Mm-hmm.
we definitely need to get out of this spot we're in life because really we're just hurting this world, we're just hurting the communities, we're just hurting our generations that are behind us. We're gonna have them even going in a worse step than what we're doing now. We gotta go back to eating at the dinner table together at dinner as a family, instead of everybody
Mm-hmm.
on their social media or not even being in the crib at all, somewhere else partying or
Yeah.
that's what's wrong with the world right now. And I wish we can go back to simpler ways because all this, technology and everything, like the messages that movies put out, everything is just cartoons. Like everything's making everybody else, like the generations after, they're setting them up for failure, and they're putting them in this cycle that they're gonna put their kids through, and then those kids are gonna go through it, and this whole world is gonna be soon filled with that and erased of the real, good shit. Um, so yeah, I just feel like we need to either resort back to our old ways or we need to figure out a better way to do this shit because I don't know, we're just hurting this world, we're hurting, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree, guys. All right, guys. Well, this is a wrap for episode 6. Woo! All right. I just want to thank you, Pugy, for coming on here. Even though we haven't spoken like fucking 4 or 5 months, but let's not say whatever. I really appreciate you, your company, and I wish you nothing but success. You already know, and I can't wait for us to put out a project together or some shit. So
Yeah, bro, I really do want to thank you, and I do appreciate you a lot, for even just getting me on here and just talking. It felt good to talk about stuff with my homie. So, yeah, just the company's good, and also, yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you and making some projects together. And I do appreciate you for you looking out, and when you seen I needed the help, that you were there to give your hand. So I do appreciate that as well. And we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it big, and we're gonna go the biggest. So
yeah.
that's what we're destined, and that's what we finna do.
Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys comment and let me know what else I should do. What type of other podcast stuff I should bring to the table for season 2. And yeah, this is Syx Lit, aka Big Lit Sixins, bitch, signing out. Peace.